So the first thing to understand, I think, with the concept of yoga as a spiritual discipline is that not everyone is ready for it. This is why in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, as you alluded to a moment ago, that there is a sutra that talks about the realization of suffering. And it's explained in the Sanskrit, dukkam eva sarvam, all indeed is suffering. Everything that you love one day will lead you to suffering. It sounds depressing at first, but it's kind of true. Like, you have a favorite t-shirt, you love it, you wear it so much so it wears out, and then you miss it. It's got a hole in it, and you gotta throw it out. My shirt, it's gone. And then, like this, without consciousness, this is essentially the human condition. We are drawn towards pleasure and things that are comfortable and pleasurable for us, and we generate attachment to those things. And then we experience things which create displeasure, or things which are uncomfortable or painful for us, which are dukkha. Then we generate aversion towards that, and we try to avoid those things. But this is beyond our ability to control. We cannot control. It's a losing battle. So the first step of understanding yoga as a spiritual practice is to have the direct realization, dukkha eva sarvam, all indeed is suffering. And the notion with this is that until we've understood that there is some basic component of suffering as part of our life, then when the practice itself gets difficult, or when we experience suffering through the vehicle of yoga, whether it's emotional, physical, psychological, spiritual, whatever type of suffering arises, then we'll run away from the practice. And we'll think, why is yoga so hard? This is a bad yoga. I'm gonna go do spinning. It's much nicer for me. And it's less intense, or it's less demanding. Or then we'll doubt ourselves. We'll say, oh, maybe yoga is good, but in me it creates too much suffering. Or we'll doubt the teacher. We'll start to say the teachers, or we'll doubt the method. So the essence of yoga as a spiritual practice starts from this notion, the direct experience and the direct acceptance of all of the material world will one day create suffering. And in that state is the opening to the true sadhaka, the true spiritual practice. Because up until that moment, there will always be this thing inside of your mind that says, yoga is good, but maybe I should just go for holiday instead. This posture is good, but maybe not as good as going to the movies. And so there'll always be this sort of escape route that's presenting itself. But if you've understood that there is no escape, that there is literally no way out, then you'll understand that the only way out is within, through the vehicle of the yoga practice. And Patanjali is pretty absolute about that. Patanjali says you're either doing yoga, you're doing the effort of spiritual practice towards ultimate realization of the truth, or you are caught in the world of bhoga with the sensory experiences, and you're attracted to things which are pleasurable, and you're running from things which are painful. So you're either doing the work of yoga to break that cycle, or you're caught in it. Patanjali doesn't really give a middle way. And maybe we can be a bit more soft about that, but I think maybe it's possible to see that moment to moment. So even the yoga practitioner, someone who says, I am dedicated to yoga as a spiritual practice, they'll make choices based on sensory pleasure, but perhaps what the key element is consciousness. So they're conscious of it, So instead of just being driven towards it and caught in the cycle, then there's an element of consciousness. I do think, though, at the moment you have that consciousness comes responsibility. So then you are held to a higher standard after you've understood some basic truths about the practice and about life as well.